Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Biz Talk Live Show. I am your host, Shante R. Roddy. We are so happy to have you here. If you are joining us live, we appreciate you. This is where we allow entrepreneurs and small business owners to come on and really share their stories and their journeys with you guys so it can encourage you, inspire you, motivate you to pursue your dreams. And they also offer great nuggets and tips for how you can be successful in business. So again, if you are tuning into the show, we ask to hit the like button. If you love small business, hit the love button. Please drop your questions and comments. If we do not get to your questions during the broadcast, we always follow up after the show. And so if you catch it after the live, just comment with hashtag replay. So we have a special guest with us today, Glenda Freeman from Leverwise. Welcome, Glenda.
Thank you for having me. I'm excited. Thank you.
Yeah, we're so happy to have you here. So tell our audience a little bit about yourself, your company, and what do you do?
Okay, well, first, my name is Glenda Freeman, as you know, and I am a United States Army veteran. And I run a business, Leverwise, and it's an administrative consulting business. And what I do is I help entrepreneurs or established businesses run their business effectively. So what that entails is that a client will come to me and say, hey, I have an idea. This is what I want to do, but they just don't know about, how to get it started, how to get that idea up and running. So then that's where I come in and I help them lay out a plan, and then we help them build their business.
That is fantastic. That is awesome. And how long have you been in business?
I have been freelancing since 2002.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I've been working for myself since 2002, but I decided to make it as really build it as my own company within the past 2 years.
Awesome. Well, congratulations to you.
Thank you.
What made you decide to pursue this path to work with business owners?
Because I enjoy helping people build business. I know what I've done so far with my company is that I've built so much and creating a business, I enjoy doing the research of building the business. So it's just the fun of doing the research and building. That's what I love to do.
Yeah.
So it's very natural and easy for me.
So do you work with specifically like startups or at any stage of the business?
At any stage. If you have money and the idea, I got the time to make it happen.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because as entrepreneurs and business owners, we have a lot of ideas, but the challenge for a lot of us is how to turn those ideas into reality, right, and to execute, right?
Exactly, and that's what I do. I execute.
Okay, that's good. And so, does that include like all industries, or do you have specific industries that you work with?
All industries. Industries. Yeah.
Okay.
I've mostly worked with a lot of coaches, and like I've also worked with some designers, some massage therapists. A lot of them have ideas. Oh, I want to expand my business. I want to cater to more maybe a female clientele. They want to bring in different types of clients in. So I help them brainstorm, and we put a plan together, and I make it happen for them.
Now, what would you say are like 2 tips that you will offer for business owners to really make take their idea from just the concept to actually executing that idea? What are like 2 tips just based on your experience of working with business owners?
The first thing I would do is lay out your most important goals. What are your 3 most important goals that you want to accomplish that year? And then once you figure out those 3 goals that you would like to accomplish, then put them in an order where you're like, what, I need to get this one done first in order to make this happen. Make sure it happens to her. Don't say, oh, I want to, everything has to work chronologically. Everything has to make sense. Everything has to be like a building block, a stepping stone in order to meet that path, to meet that goal.
That's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is so important to make sure that you have your goals in front of you, that you're not just short-sighted and only thinking in the short term. Because I think sometimes a lot of entrepreneurs and business owners like, I just want to make money, but
Exactly.
without thinking about the long term, right?
Exactly.
And
Yeah.
how is what I'm doing going to get me closer to my goals?
Exactly. And then once you figure out those goals, break down those goals into smaller, doable steps, because then it'll help you accomplish those goals. Don't say, hey, I want to do this, but then you don't know how to accomplish those goals because you got to break those goals down in smaller, doable tasks. And each goal should build upon one another to reach your ultimate goal for your business.
Yes. Let me put that in here. I think that's good. So breaking your goals down into smaller, actionable steps. Because
Yes.
I don't know about you, but we talk about this a lot. Some of the challenges that entrepreneurs deal with. It's hard work, and we're creatives, we're innovators, we have a lot of ideas, and sometimes having all these ideas, it overwhelms you. And
Exactly.
and then if you're not putting it into smaller steps, you're like, oh my God, how am I going to get this done? And then
Hmm.
that causes us then to procrastinate.
Yeah, and then you're overwhelmed because you're like, where do I begin? Because you're not breaking down the goals as a whole. You're seeing everything all at once, and
Yes.
it's overwhelming. And then, but you have to realize, hey, you know what? Let me break this down. Let me work on this goal because I finished this goal. It's going to get me to my ultimate goal. Because you got to realize you have to see the bigger picture of your business. What is it that
Yes.
you want from your business? The ultimate goal. What is it that you're trying to accomplish? You have to know one particular thing that you want to accomplish for that year, and then break that down into three smaller goals. And then within breaking them down to three smaller goals, break down each of those goals into smaller, doable steps. And then by the end of the year, you will reach that ultimate goal that you want to hit for your business.
Absolutely. That's good stuff. So, think about what is the big picture for your business. Um, that's good. So you said that you went full time doing this about 2 years ago.
Yeah, but it's also the way that I plan and work with my clients is the way that I've lived my life, to be honest. I have two masters and graduated with honors with both of them. And what's so ironic about it is that when I first joined college, I flunked out. I only had a 1.7 GPA. I
Wow.
barely made it. But then I knew as I got older, I joined the military, I started experiencing life, and then I realized that I had like a learning disability, whereas that I was a visual learner.
Mm.
And me attending college where like the big lectures and stuff, the information would just go in and out my ear because I couldn't compute it. See?
Mm-hmm.
So I ended up going to school online because it was visual. I was able to see presentations. I was able to hear the audio and the visual. So it combined the different types of learning for me and it made everything connect. So that's what I've learned. And that's what I've learned with dealing with people. Sometimes you have to take them outside and really get to know them and make them understand, okay, everyone learns differently. So everyone processes information differently. So when you deal with your clients, everyone, it's like one shoe fits all, one size fits all. The way I may work with one client be totally different to another client because everyone has different needs and different strengths and weaknesses. So I try to get to know my clients and try to play upon those and have them trust me, like just trust the process. That's all it is. Just trust the process and really stick to it. So once you figure out of who you are and what you're trying to do and what you're capable and what you're not capable of, it makes it so much easier. And it doesn't make it seem like that you're just building a business. You wake up in the morning like, oh man, I got to get this done. I got to get this done. Before you know it, you're going to be done with it. You're going to reach your goals before you even know it.
I like that. Also, just your story about how you did in school and came to understand that you have a particular learning style and how
Yes.
we can relate that on how we handle our clients. So I think going through that experience, I think that helped you with your clients to be able to provide that one-on-one customized experience because you're right, not all sizes doesn't fit.
One size can fit all.
Yeah. So I think that that's very good. And then also to understand that even though you might have setbacks or shortcomings or disabilities, whatever, that is not that does not limit you and your potential to achieve
Exactly.
everything that you want to achieve.
That is absolutely correct. I just had to adjust adjust to that. So I said, okay, maybe I need to do this, because me sitting in a large lecture, it didn't do anything for me. I would space out, I would look around, I would see a pretty picture, or I would hear another conversation. It's like my attention span was nothing at all. But once I knew if I went to school online, I'm able to walk. I can listen to a lecture while I'm taking my dog for a walk with my headsets on. I'm able to see a presentation. I can see the numbers, just like working with numbers. I would have to actually see a visual spreadsheet for me to actually tell you, okay, this is what we need to do. But if you tell me something, it's not going to compute. And that's why I tell my clients, when we talk, just email me the information, because you can tell me what you want to tell me over the phone, but until I see it in writing, it processes with me. So I try to tell my clients, it's easier, we can discuss this now, but I would appreciate if you just put it on paper for me and just send me an email, because then it all starts to make sense with me. And then it also allows them to see exactly what they're asking and making sure, okay, is this exactly what I want? This is, what I'm saying? Because seeing it in writing and actually speaking it are two different things. You'll see a whole different picture once you put it down on paper.
Yes. Yeah. Now, when you started your business, what would you say are maybe two of your biggest challenges that you've experienced thus far in growing your business?
Well, finding the type of clients that understand my business model and what it is I'm trying to accomplish. And then you're also going to meet the type of clients that, they see me like, oh, you're a virtual assistant. So they're like, oh, I just want you to do this task, this task. I'm like, you know what? Hey, that's not my style. You know what I'm saying? You might want to hire someone else, that's able to say, hey, I'll create a few emails or I'll do this. That's not my style. I'm more of the, give me the bigger projects. Give me something that's going to really help you build your business. But if you're just looking for someone to write a few memos or make a few copies, then I'm not your girl. I'm ready to help you build a business and make some money. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I like that. Build a business and make some money.
Right. Now, if you're ready to get started, make some money and really build a business, like if you look on my website, I just created an online school because, by trade, really, I'm an artist. I paint. So, and I've shown my work throughout the United States, traveled, showed my work. And so now I've created an online art school for kids. And what it does, it stresses visual and kinesthetic learning. So it has visual learning, and then also applies where they have to do some physical type activity. But what's important about it is that they're learning their main subjects in school: social studies, math, reading, and science. But then they're also learning art history at the same time. So, and I created that online learning school within 1 week. And I built that myself on my website. I did that in 1 week.
That's amazing.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. So like I said, see, one thing about me is that if I already think about it, I'm going to get it done. If I have a thought today that I'm going to do something, I will start it today and I will finish it. I will finish it. I'm very obsessive like that. And that's how I am with my clients too. Some of my clients, they say I move too fast for them because it's like, because I want to start a business. I'm like, to me, if clients, if they want to start a business, I'm ready to get them up and running within 90 days. That's my goal. Is to get up and running in 90 days and making money, because the more money I make, the more money I'm going to make. So,
Right. And I think it's interesting that you said that, because I read an article about a gentleman, actually it was yesterday, who went from $400,000 in debt to selling his company for almost $2 billion.
Yeah.
And he talked about that. He gave some tips on how to be successful. He said what causes a lot of entrepreneurs to struggle is they delay, or they don't move fast enough, or they say, okay, I need time to do this, or just let me get this to this place in on my job, or this place in my business, then I will do this.
Yeah, see, they overplan. That's a problem with entrepreneurs. We overthink things.
Instead of doing it, like he said, to be all in.
Yes,
and really dedicate that time. So, like you said, you dedicate that. You put your all into that. The 90 days. I think that would set you up for better success and quicker success, because a lot of times when you start delaying, then it's delayed year after year, and you could have already been up and running and making money.
I have a client just like that. She says, "Oh, I want an online training platform to teach my classes." I'm like, "Okay, well, I can get you started. This is what I need from you." "Oh, well, I need to do this first." I'm like, "Man, you are 72 years old. You either gonna get it popping now or you're not, because time is not your friend right now. You are 72. Let's make it
Yeah.
happen. I can get you up and running in 90 days. Yeah, you want to roll with me or you don't. You know what I'm saying? Hey, I'm all about it. I love creating businesses. That's my thing. I love a challenge. That's me. I love a challenge. The more challenging the job that I have, the harder I'm going to work, and I know I'm going to make it happen. I love the challenge. I'm always up for a challenge. I love people say you can't do it, because I'll show you 10 ways that I can.
That I can. Okay, that's me.
Yep, exactly.
So what did you do to get closer to your ideal client? Because I know a lot of entrepreneurs and business owners, that's a challenge for them. So just like it was a challenge for you, it's been a challenge for me and probably everyone else, when you're trying to figure out your target market or what your ideal client is, and that's going to, like you said, understand your business model and that you're going to be able to work
Yeah.
well together.
Well,
So that's the process.
know your
Yeah.
worth. Know your worth. I can't stress that in more ways than one. Know your worth. Don't offer discounts. Don't offer no freebies. Know your worth. If a client wants to meet with you, I used to offer free consultations. I don't do free consultations
Me
anymore.
neither.
I don't do it because it's not, because they're going to continue to try to call you, and they're going to act like your friend. "Oh, I'm just calling to check on you," and they'll slide in a quick question. "Well, I was thinking about this." "No, I was thinking that you might want to schedule an appointment, and this is how much my consultation fee is."
I was just telling my business partner that today she had someone in her inbox, and I said,
Oh,
yeah, I said, send them the link.
and then also on my page this is how you weed out the clients, that if you want to find high paying clients. On my website, I have a form it's called Engage. And on an engagement form, I have certain questions that I ask potential clients. It's my client intake form, and I ask them what's important to them. Is it the price? Is it the quality of service? Is it the speed? If they say what they worry about is the price, I know that's the last person I'm going to call.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? But if they want quality of service, okay, I'm going to give them a call, because price is not a matter. You say it doesn't matter to them. And also, I think that starting out, a particular client should have making at least $10,000 a month, because I know what I'm going to charge them a month. You see what I'm saying? So if they're making at least $10,000 a month, then they can afford my service.
Right.
Because
And that's
because I know what I'm going to charge them. You see what I'm saying? So I'm like, okay, if I'm charging them maybe $2,000 a month, that's still leaving them $8,000 a month. You see what I'm saying? So you have to pick and choose your battles, and not all clients it's going to be your client. I know nobody wants to help somebody and like, "Oh, I think this is too much." Well, if you think what you're charging is too much, then obviously you need to rethink of what you're trying to do and your work. Because I never ever say that I'm too expensive. I say, "Hey, you're lucky you get me at the price that you get me." You see what I'm saying? Because I have a wealth of knowledge that I'm bringing to the table.
and that takes confidence.
It
Right?
does.
So I
It does.
think we need to have more of that, more confidence, and just knowing who your target client is. And part of that is knowing, what type of revenue that they're bringing into their business.
Yep.
So not everybody is going to be your client. Maybe that individual, that company isn't at the level
Yep.
where you need them to be.
Yep.
For your business, and that's okay. You just need, the thing is to connect with your ideal client, find out who they are, where they are,
Yep.
and to build a message, craft your message around what their needs are and what their pain points are, and what solutions that you provide.
Exactly.
Yeah. So that's good. So I hope that's good, because I know that is a challenge for so many. If it's not a challenge,
It is. And the other two, don't worry about what the next person is doing. What's right for someone's business model may not be right for yours. And
Yeah.
so I never ever take blanket, advice from anyone because, they don't know your business model. You can tell them what you want to tell them, but in the end, you have to decide what works best for you and what you're capable of and what you want and what you don't want. Oh, well, such and such did it this way. Yeah, well, that probably worked for that person that way. But for me, I'm going to do it this way because this is what feeds my soul. This is what makes me happy. And this is how I know I can be successful with my clients and with myself.
Yes. So what I was going to ask you is, how has this your entrepreneurship journey affected your relationships, both your personal and business relationships? Has there
Well,
been any sacrifice? I mean, good impacts, bad impacts, all the way around, because we know it's a sacrifice for entrepreneurs. And sometimes we work in isolation, so we're not connecting enough.
exactly.
Sometimes we're connecting with the wrong people. Sometimes we need to purge
Right.
our circle. So just tell us about a little bit about your experience and how this journey has impacted you and in your relationships.
Well, when I first started out, I was in a relationship and we were going to get married, but as further along in engagement, I realized that he wasn't supportive in any of my endeavors, maybe my artistic endeavors, my educational endeavors, and my business endeavors. And I really had to choose between, am I going to continue this business or am I going to continue to be with this man and do what he thinks, I put that in quotation, what he thinks that is best for me.
Mm-hmm.
And you have to really think about that concept. You have to think about, how is someone supposed to tell you of what is best for you? You see what I'm saying? So to make a long story short, I got rid of him. So I got rid of him real quick. I said, you know what? You're not being supportive. You are not the man for me. And I just had to let it be. And I'm happy. I couldn't be even happier. And I've learned to get people out of my life who are not supportive. And I have no ifs, and buts, or maybes about it. Wash your hands and be done with it. Life
Yes,
is too short.
I agree. Life is too short, and
Yeah.
you need people around you that are positive, that want to see you be successful. They want to see you win.
Yeah.
It's those people that are closest to you. That can have an impact on whether you're successful or not.
Exactly.
Right. And because I know people deal with that and having close people, whether family, friends, their circle that is not really
Mhm.
supportive of anything that they're doing. Surround yourself with people. So
Yeah.
even if they're not blood family, okay,
Exactly.
find a small business family, get some gold friends,
Exactly.
other people
Yeah.
that are entrepreneurs and business owners that understand what
Yeah.
it's like to run a business.
And
It's,
I tell people, stop taking advice from people who don't have a business. And I cannot stress that enough. Stop taking advice from people who are not entrepreneurs, who don't have a business. Because they're not bringing nothing to the table that they don't know anything about your journey because they haven't walked a mile, at least a few steps in the shoes of being an entrepreneur. So you cannot take advice from someone who doesn't even know what it means to be an entrepreneur.
yes, that's
So
true.
why would you take advice from someone who don't have a business? It doesn't make any sense because they read a few articles. They're supposed to tell you what you're supposed to be doing. No, take them
Right.
out. Let me know what you've learned.
Exactly. And
Yeah,
don't you can listen to people, but don't let other people's opinions of you and what you're doing override
exactly.
your own thoughts and your own voice. That's
Yes,
telling you and your own vision. Um,
exactly.
you were given the vision, so you know more than anybody else what's going on,
Exactly.
what you're doing.
Right. And trust your instincts, trust your
Yes,
intuition, trust yourself more. And as an entrepreneur, that's one thing that we don't do. We always second guess ourselves. We always doubt ourselves. And everyone thinks like, oh, what if I make a mistake? So what? You made a mistake. Okay. That doesn't, it's not really a thing. Oh, I failed. No, you didn't. You're still learning. It's part of the process.
process. Exactly.
You're
But we
gonna
can
make
get
all
so hard
kinds of
on, yeah, we get so hard on ourselves. So
yeah.
with that said, how do you celebrate yourself? Like, how do you make sure that you're staying motivated, even when things are challenging in your business? Because I always talk about the importance of celebrating ourselves, celebrating our wins, not waiting till, we land some big contract, but
Exactly.
every milestone is a success.
It is. It is. It truly is. It truly is. And I embrace myself and I tell myself, like, wow, Glenda, you did that. And I pour myself a nice glass of wine or two, and I celebrate. I'll never forget when I started my drop shipping. I have also a drop shipping side of my business where I sell like lamps and chairs. But see, one thing I've done with that particular business model is that I market to interior designers because they buy in big quantities. You know what I'm saying? They have the clients that can pay the money for the prices that I have my lamps for sale. Well, my biggest sale, I sold one lamp, and that one lamp within 3 months, out of 3 orders, I made $12,000.
Oh wow!
One lamp, 3 orders, $12,000. One lamp. Put that in perspective. That was my biggest win, and I couldn't believe it. And I had to log out of my bank account and log back in, and I was like, that money is really mine right there. Exactly. So it's like you have to stick to it, stick to your business model, because I knew when I designed that business side, I was like, you know what, I can't compete against Amazon. I can't compete against all these other big companies. So I had to narrow it down. So I said, you know what, I'm going to cater to interior designers. These are people who can afford these $500 lamps that I'm selling.
Right.
Because they have the clients that are going to pay that. And so that has helped me out. So that goes, another tip is that create multiple streams of income with your business.
Okay, I can't say that enough. We say that all the time.
Yep, great. So now I have this business where I'm selling lamps and chairs, and that automatically sells itself. So even if I don't have a client, I'm making sales and placing out orders. You see what I'm saying? So now I have the online school. That's going to be another stream of income. Create multiple streams of income with your business. So if you don't have a client for a few months, you still got other things of bringing money in. You won't stress yourself out.
That's good.
Yep.
Okay. So work less, live more. That's what multiple streams of income does for you.
Exactly.
Because no matter what business you're in, every business has seasons.
Exactly.
And you're not always at the peak season,
Exactly.
no matter what the business is. So you have to account for that.
Yes.
And having those streams of income, like I said, is nothing like waking up to your PayPal notification.
Yes.
Or like I said, encountering that you met another income goal.
Exactly.
It's so exciting.
Say, oh, you have an order. You have an
right.
order. I love that.
Right, it comes through to my email. You have somebody new registered, or somebody bought this, or they signed up for this, or you have money in your account. That is such a rewarding feeling.
It is. Yes. It truly is. Yep.
It really is. So, what would you say, if anything, would you go back and do differently if you had the ability to start over in your business?
I wouldn't have waited so long, to be honest, because I was in that relationship where he told me I couldn't get it done. And I started to believe the fact, oh, maybe I just need to go get a 9 to 5, because I thought that I had this false sense of hope, like, oh, I created my website and now people are going to come to me, and, just because you create a website, you still got to get out there and hustle it. You know what I'm saying? You got to, every day is a hustle. And if you are an entrepreneur and you understand that there's an art to the hustle, then you are in the wrong game. And like I said, I don't knock anyone who has a 9 to 5, but then there has to be a point where you have to say, either you're going to get off, what that old saying, you're either going to, or get off the pot. You see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So there has to be, after a while, you're like, how long are you going to continue working at this job, but knowing that you want to do something else with your life? You have to take a leap of faith. You can jump or you're not, but you got to stop straddling the fence. Because you can't straddle the fence. You can't have this job work for someone else, especially if it has nothing to do with what you want to do. Now, but different if you got a 9 to 5 and it's in the industry where you're trying to build your business, then yeah, you should take that as gaining knowledge. But at the same time, that knowledge that you gain, you should still be building your business. But after a while, you have to learn how to get out, break that chain and put the 2 weeks in and make it happen for yourself. So that's the only thing. That's the only thing I have to tell a lot of people is that either you're going to do it or you're not. But you can't keep on straddling the fence. It doesn't take 3 years for you to create a business. I do it in 90 days. So whatever and I'm a big person of that. I'm not about excuses. I hate hearing excuses. Oh, I can't do this. I can't do that. And I've actually let a lot of clients go because they had more excuses than resolutions for me. And I can't work with people that way. It's just, that's not how I was built. You know what I'm saying? I was raised by a man. My father was a single parent. My father raised me from the age of 4. And so my dad is raised from the streets of Washington, D.C. And my daddy is 82 years old now. And he is very successful in his own. My father has been recognized in Congress for his work. So here he is, this little black boy, come from the streets of D.C. and working for congressmen and being recognized in Congress. So my dad showed me, as long as you know how to read and write, there's nothing that you cannot accomplish.
Yes. And I like what you said about you get to pick who you work with.
Yes.
And a lot of times I think we sacrifice ourselves and give in so much that we've lost the passion. We're not even doing what we want to do. And we're lowering our prices because it's like we're trying to force our services on a client that is not a good fit. Not every client is a good client for you. And as the business owner, you have all authority to make a decision on who you work with.
Exactly. I'll create a smaller package for them, but if they can't afford that smaller package, then I have nothing else to offer, and they need to go see someone else because, like I said, I know my worth and I know what knowledge I'm bringing to the table, and I know where I can take them. So either they want to go along this ride with me, or they need to be with someone else because I'm looking for go-getters. That's what I want. I want entrepreneurs who are go-getters, who like, I got the money, but I have the idea, but I have no clue where to get started. If I'm a go-getter, they're going to ready to get started like yesterday. And they know, let's get it popping. Let's get it done. I don't like to over-plan. This is what we're going to do. And we're going to both learn along the process. We're going to see what works. This is what we think we need to do. And then we can tweak it along your journey together. You know what I'm saying? And that's what's important. They have to understand that because there's always going to be twists and turns. You can put out a plan. You can plan all you want, but it's never, ever going to happen accordingly. And you have to make your clients understand that.
Right. And that's why I think being flexible, right, and being able to adjust as a business owner is very important.
Yep, exactly.
So even if you launch something that's working today, doesn't mean it's going to be working tomorrow. Like, and understanding the trends and things that are changing in the marketplace. That's why a lot of businesses do struggle because they don't, one, do research. Two, they don't understand the marketplace and they're not keeping up on the trends.
Exactly. Or they get into our marketplace that's so oversaturated, and you don't even know how to tweak it to make you stand out. Just like when I first started, I was like, oh yeah, I'll be a virtual assistant. And I was like, man, I started looking around, there's too many virtual assistants. And I'm not going to charge myself, I'm not going to get paid $10, $12 an hour. I can't eat like that. I'm a single mom. I got bills to pay. You know what I'm saying? I got a child to raise. So me working, if I'm going to work $10, $12 an hour, I might as well get me a 9 to 5 because that's exactly what you're trading a 40-hour a week. Nah, I'm not trying to work like that. I got things I need to do. You know, my daughter has events I must attend.
I hear you. I'm with you on that. And even with the lamps that you were talking about, it's all about niching it down.
Yeah.
You know, in a saturated market, if you can separate yourself from everyone else, create a niche. In every industry, there's a niche.
Yep.
Find that niche that is underserved.
Exactly. And what I've noticed is that the market that I'm in is that I've noticed that a lot of entrepreneurs, they have a lot of ideas, but they have no clue how to implement those ideas to make it happen.
And so that's why they need people like yourself to really
Yeah.
help them to be able to do that, because
Yeah.
we all have great ideas. We just need to execute,
Yep,
right?
I do all the research. I do all the research. I do everything, and then I bring it to you. And I'm like, this is what I found out. What do you think? You know, and then we can go from there. I do every. You just tell me what you're looking for, what you're trying to do, and I'll do all the research, and then we'll build a plan and make it happen for you. Because, like I said, my goal is to get you up and running within 90 days. That's my goal for every business. So we can continue, because like I said, you pick out three goals. My thing is, you pick out one ultimate goal, you pick out three goals, and those three goals, for each those three goals, I expect to accomplish each of those goals within 90 days. So therefore you will meet your ultimate goal within a year. That's how I work it with these clients. So they say, oh, you work so fast. Hey, I'm not moving fast enough. Believe me, if I could move faster, I would. So 90 days for one goal is more than enough time to accomplish. More than enough.
That's good. So what are maybe two tips or recommendations that you would give our entrepreneurs and business owners who are listening, as far as what they can do to set themselves up for success in their business?
Uh, like I said, most important is trust yourself. Well, I don't think we trust ourselves enough anymore. I really don't. And I think that's why we look for advice more than we look for advice within ourselves. That we have the answers to certain questions, but I think we always seeking for someone else to give us an answer for something, instead of us taking time out and meditating on the subject matter itself, and then wait for the answers to come to you. And you can meditate anyway. You can go for a walk in the park. You can listen to music. You could be washing dishes, and jot down different thoughts that come to your head. Just blanket thoughts. Just keep a little journal next to you of different ideas. And then once you think about those different ideas, look at those ideas and break it down. Well, what can I do to make this idea happen? Start jotting those things down. So sometimes just really trust yourself. Trust the process. Trust yourself. Listen to yourself more. Don't all you can ask advice, that's great, but after a while, okay, because sometimes I think when we ask advice, it discourages you from what you already know what is true within yourself. And it makes you second guess yourself. You
That's
see what
good.
I'm saying? So there's a fine line of asking for advice and trusting yourself. Because sometimes in the end, you don't let your decision be the final decision. You're basing your final decision off of what someone else has said is supposed to be, or how it's supposed to happen, or how it's done, because they've seen it done somewhere like that. So you have to really understand, like, okay, is that really going to work for me, or am I just doing this because someone else did it and they said it worked for them, or am I doing it because I know it fits me in my model? So we have to learn how to process the information that we do receive, and then make it your own.
Make it your own.
Yep, make it your own. Yeah.
That's very good. Okay, so I have one last question for you.
Okay.
Okay, this is like my special question I asked all of my guests. If you
Gotcha.
had a magic stick and you could change anything in the world, what would it be?
A magic stick. What would it be? It would be that people. Let me see. Let me see how I want to phrase this. Let's see. Uh, that we live in a society where we actually truly want to help one another. It's right now we currently live in a society is that we help you, like, well, what's in it for me? And I think that's a lot of problems with a lot of nonprofit and foundations out here that I've recognized that I'm really disappointed with, is that I see a lot of them saying they're doing big things, but to me, I see them making a lot of things as like a tax write-off, more or less not really helping a group of
Mm-hmm.
people. And I see that a lot. Just say, for instance, the homeless. There's no reason why we have homeless people on the street. There's no reason. We're in the United States. With all these billionaires that live in the United States, not one has taken a dilapidated building and built a shelter or something. So I just really truly would want a world where people actually just do because they know it's the right thing to do, not because what's in it for me. Yep,
That's good. That's what giving really is.
exactly. Yeah, it's not having recognition. Oh,
Right.
on the news of because or they did this or did that. We have
Mm-hmm.
so many rundown buildings here. within the United States and all these homeless people, there's no reason why we should have this in the United States at all. None. All these billionaires and millionaires that live here.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yes, we're supposed to be the greatest country on earth. So we
Yeah.
do need more of that.
Yep.
More working with each other, helping each other without an ulterior motive or
Exactly.
selfish
Exactly.
motive. Yeah.
Yep.
So that's really good. Well, Glenda, thank you so much for coming on our show. It was such a pleasure having you. I know our audience. I see some of you out there. Hi, I do see you. Um, so thank you for joining this broadcast. Please like and share for us. And Glenda, can you just remind our audience again of what your business is, what you do, who you serve, and where can people find you?
Oh, yes. Well, you can visit my website at leverwise.co. So that's leverwise.co, not com. And what I do is a quick and long story short. If you got the money and the idea, I got the time to help you build your business and help you get to where you're going. By the end of this year, I will have you up and running and having you build a business of your dreams. That is my goal.
That is fantastic. And we love that because we need more entrepreneurs. We need more business owners.
Yes, we do.
We want to see you all fulfilling your dreams and
Exactly.
and turning your gifts into profits. Things that you know you're passionate about, you want to do, you can do them. There's no limit to them. And Glenda is here to help you if you need help with that. And so Glenda, after the show, we will make sure that she leaves her information in the comments for you so you can access them should you need her services. So again, Glenda, thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
You're so welcome. Okay, well, you have tuned into the Biz Talk Live Show with myself, Shante R. Roddy, the host. Tune in every Thursday at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time to see all of the wonderful entrepreneurs that we have on our show. If you are an entrepreneur, you have a story that you believe would change lives, we invite you to be a guest. We do have June openings and July openings. So you can visit us at our website at www.intuitiveriskmanagement.com for details and to apply. If you also would like to be a sponsor, there's an application process for that, but we will promote you on our show as you promote the small business owners and the small business community. Just wanted to make a quick announcement. As you guys know, next week is the big week. We are having our small business extravaganza here in Northeast Ohio. So if you are in surrounding states or you're going to be in the area, you're in Cleveland, please join us for this great event. This is all for entrepreneurs and business owners to celebrate us, to provide opportunities for us to connect and that we elevate together because that's what we need to do. To achieve more, we need to work together. And so that's what we're doing. We have so many great activities from the business summit, the showcase. We have a painting party. We're walking the community, really putting a spotlight on our local small businesses. So we want to see you there. Please go to www.smallbusinessweekextravaganza.com to get your tickets. All right. So until next time, you guys have a wonderful day. Continue to pursue your dreams. And we'll see you next week.